So what do I think about Dominique Wilkins saying that the NBA, when they went global, they went soft. They had to go. They had to go soft to go global. What I think about it, because he was saying there's only two, three players playing in the league at the time. What I think about his remarks, is he old and bitter, or is he on point? He's on point. Now I remember when Marcelonis played. There were guys that could play from overseas. They could play. They could ball. But I've said this before, and I'm gonna say this again. And Dominique Wilkins was one of my favorite players growing up back in the day. The worst thing that ever happened to the NBA was when the Dream Team smashed everybody back in '92. You know how they go excited? Well, it's like David Stern had that light bulb go in his head, like, oh, I feel sorry for them. What can we do to bring them, make them feel like they belong? And I'm not talking about Petrovic or Sabonis Sr., even Jokic to understand. I'm not talking about cats that can obviously play. I'm talking about the cats that you like Darko. There was a lot of them cats that weren't that good. But the influx of Britain opportunity, there was too much money to pass on. I ain't wouldn't it be funny if the NBA had ISIS? You sucked and they would come knock on your door and say you gotta go back. You had to be of a certain caliber. You had to be moral fiber, Josh Giddey. Maybe you get deported. I'm gonna say Dominique Wilkins is 100 on this. Cause we used to look at cats and be like looking at them. Let's be realistic. When Dirk Nowitzki came in, everybody laughed about him being traded for Robert Tractor Trailer because I'm a Michigan Wolverine fan, and Tractor Trailer looked like he was going to play the part of something that was going to be something. Unfortunately, it didn't turn out that way, and RIP, and Dirk turned into one of the best players ever. But we were looking at Dirk like, are you soft? You suspect? You know, wasn't that long ago. Wasn't that long ago. So where we are now, you know. But I agree with Dominique Wilkins. The league had to go soft to bring the across the pond. They had to go bring soft to go global. They wanted everybody to be a kumbaya. They want everybody to bring to the party. And that's what they did. They did that on purpose. You know, you can look at it when they talk about analytics, everybody play a certain way. They did that on purpose. They were trying to blow up Tony Kukoc. You remember when at one time he was paid as much as Jordan and Pippen, and Scotty always was bitter about that. They did that. See, Jerry Reinsdorf, all them owners know that David Stern said, well, this is what I want. And Adam Silver followed and say, let's Euro step. Let's do what we got to do. We got to sell this thing because baseball be making a rake off of it, making a raking. You go from Ichiro to Shohei. We need to get a payday too. We need to get some of that. Don't be surprised the NFL ever goes that route too. I'm just saying. You never know. But they watching. If they think they can make a buck somewhere that you didn't expect, they will. And you know who's going to be the ones that's going to be the cast outs. You already know. So when Dominique Wilkins said the NBA had to go soft to go global, he ain't lying. They did. They did this on purpose. This was a concerted plan. And if you notice, I'm not saying because cats can play, the ones that can. But you know good and well when Yao Ming came in, you know Yao Ming wasn't no second coming to no Shaq and to no Tim Duncan. He's in the really good pile who flirted with very good. He wasn't great. But that didn't make no difference. I got to go find somebody. I got to go find people. We're going to make this happen. We're doing what we want to do. Can't blame it on Steph Curry's three-point shooting. Can't blame this on LeBron James's antics or what have you. This was the powers that be that made the call. And Dominique Wilkins is 100. They had to go soft to go global. That is the most honest thing I've heard someone tell in a long time because it is 100. If they didn't go soft, I don't think, and you can't tell me I'm not saying you're going to find another Shaq, but you can't tell me that if they can't try to make someone, they making what they want. They're doing AI before your eyes. They're making robotic play before your eye. That's why the NBA is intolerable. Now, I'm not saying that cats can't come over and play, but to sit up here and act like you can't find a Luka Doncic at some playground in LA or New York or Boston, somewhere in the hood, that you can't find cats that can shimmy and shake like that you can't find a Victor Wemby somewhere in the States, that you can't find that kind of talent, that you can't find, who we want to put on that they blowing up. Oh, you can. They just don't want it. You're expendable. And somewhere along the lines, brothers was going overseas to play, they said, oh, wait a minute. We got something here. I told you that 92 Olympics was the best and worst thing that ever happened. That's how I feel. Because I'm a firm believer they do what they want to do. And believe it or not, irony of irony, Kobe Bryant, American-born, a player who grew up in Italy, but he was born and bred. He was the centerpiece of bringing someone back from over to incorporate to the game, but had a foot over there. And it's been underutilized. That's a whole nother dynamic at work. But Dominique Wilkins was right. The NBA went soft to go global. I like that quote. I'm keeping that. I'll take that, Alex, for 500. Please hit like, subscribe, welcome thoughts, comments, and I do respond. Thank you. Wash your hands. Keep your mind clear. Watch out for another. Share it if you like. Stay safe, stay blessed, stay woke, stay free. I'm out one time. Peace.